For those of you that live in a very large populated area, for example, like Phoenix, Arizona, and you try to get a website and a Google listing found in that particular area, the chances are very, very slim because you have so much competition online. Have you ever considered just building maybe a Google listing and a website in a smaller area closer to Phoenix where the chances of your website ranking go up by 10, 20 times better? Let me show you exactly what I mean. What's up there, guys? Izzy here once again with Do-It-Yourself Junk Removal SEO, where I help junk removal companies, dumpster rental companies, small business owners teach them how to design their own SEO optimized websites, teach them about SEO, their Google listing, and teach them how to get their business found online organically, which will save them thousands and thousands of dollars in advertising costs and digital costs in the future. And today I want to break down a complete SEO analysis for junk removal services in Chandler, Arizona. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I notice that there's a lot of junk removal companies, dumpster rental companies, even other small business owners that do businesses in very, very large populated areas, which is great because there's a million customers then. The problem with that is then you have tons and tons and tons of competition online, and the chances of getting your Google listing and your website found online takes a very long time to make that happen. So this is why I wanted to break down and show you how there's a possibility of building a separate Google listing, maybe even a separate website. You could make a page specifically off your website for this one, or build a website completely in a city, for example, like Chandler, Arizona, where the competition is a lot less, but the demand for junk removal is still there. So I'm going to show you what it would take to compete or possibly overtake the competition in Chandler, Arizona, which is, I don't think, it was only like 20 miles away from Phoenix. So let's go ahead and start and get cracking on the SEO analysis. Okay, so what's the first thing we're going to do? We're obviously going to type in junk removal Chandler, okay? And what we're going to do is look up and see what are the first 3 Google Map listings that show up in this little box. Why? I always say this is the very first thing your customers are going to see. And so this is obviously who they're going to either click on the website or call straight off of their phone right there. And then we're going to go ahead and break down the rest of these websites. But the very first thing I'm going to do is take a look at the very first website on the Google top 10 underneath the map listings, and look at the top website that's not a directory or a big, massive franchise company. And the very first one I see here is Code 3 Junk Removal. I click that on there. Click on their website, copy the domain name. I go to the Hoth search engine rankings. Again, it's a free tool that I use. Show people it's free, so it don't have to cost any money. I type that into the search bar, hit the rankings, and what this tool does is tells me what makes this website show up on Google. What specific words make this website show up on Google? And you'll see right here, junk removal. I'm checking out Chandler. Junk removal Chandler is 140 searches every single month. And junk removal Chandler AZ is another 140 searches every month. So we're talking 200 to 300 searches every single month. That's a very good amount of volume for junk removal in Chandler, Arizona. So right away, I take a look at the market, and there's plenty for it. Okay, now we go back to the 3 map listings, okay? So what causes a Google map listing to rank on map listing? Of course, geographic location. You have to have your Google listing created in that town. And I'm going to show you one way you can do that, make that happen and make it look legit. So what Google does is looks for the businesses it trusts the most. And how does it trust the most? By taking a look at many citations for that business, the mention of the business name, the business address, and the business phone number throughout the internet. That's one of the big factors in there. Another one is the Google reviews. How many Google reviews they got going on there? What type of activities taking place? Another thing they're looking at is making sure the Google listing is filled out completely. All your categories are filled out correctly, your description, your services, your pictures are loaded up. You've put in pictures consistently, not on one shot, but one time every couple of weeks, one time a week. You consistently add in pictures on there. Make sure your description's filled out, your links to your website are filled. Everything's out completely. That's what they're looking for. Another thing they're looking for is if they're actually posting stuff on their Google listing. And the one way to just look on here and you can tell they're doing some little posts right here on their Google listing. So that's one of the many factors. Like I said, Google's map listings or Google's listings, there are Google's properties. They love their properties. So if you partake in their properties, they're going to favor you in the long run. So you can see all these people are getting reviews. I took a look at all of them. They are all posting. This guy's posting too. You can tell right here by the little posts. And the third one is too. So it's tough competition here, but can you compete? Yes. Will it take time? Yes. So one of the things I do is to find out the citations of the top one, code 3 junk removal, is I put their name in quotations and then I put their phone number in quotations and I click search, and this is going to tell Google I want to find out how many pages on the internet have that information. So you can see right here 209 citations. So it's going to be tough to beat this top one right here, but that doesn't mean you can't beat one of the three in there. So I took a look at the third one, super junk removal. Even though it's got 159 reviews, you see that doesn't mean that's what's going to overtake it. It's a lot of factors in there. Super junk removal. Let's take a look at their super junk removal. Their phone number in quotations. They only got six results. So the possibility of getting in that map pack is pretty good. If you have a good map listing, everything's filled out, you're getting decent reviews, consistent reviews, you're getting pictures. But if you go out there and get your business citations done, that's going to put you above your competition out there. Another thing you look for too, Google looks for, is make sure the website connected to it actually even mentions, junk removal, and it's a local website for that area. So let's take a look at super junk removal. Let's take a look. Service area, see it's all over the area there. There I mentioned something about Chandler right there too. Code 3, same thing. It's not very specific, but it does mention the area. There you go. So the Arizona area, Chandler, there it is right there. So that's one of the things that it's looking for. That's what's making these Google map listings rank on here. And also that if your website's ranking in the top 10 and it's connected to this Google listing, is also going to help tremendously, which is code 3 is right here. This guy, coincidence? No. It's got the most citations. He's got the best website ranking for those words, so that's why he's showing up right there. Can you beat him out? Possibly. Going to take a lot of time, but why beat him out? Why not just get into this pack here and possibly underneath? You're still going to get a trickle of those phone calls for that area right there. So that's the map listing, what it would take to overtake the map listing. Now let's go into the actual websites in the top 10 and see what it would take to get into that top 10. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the websites underneath the Google listings for the search terms junk removal Chandler. I always say your goal should be to get your business found in the Google map listings as well as in this top 1, 2, or 3 of Google search. And if you have enough in your profits to put in a little bit Google ads as well, just to sprinkle it in here. So you're basically blanketing that first page of Google for the search terms in that particular area. So your customers are going to trust you because they see you all over the place. This must be the place to call, so they'll end up calling. But still, this guy's showing up here and here. I almost guarantee you he's getting the vast majority of the calls because people even tend to go to whatever shows up organically and even bypass the ads. So what causes a website to rank on Google's first page here and towards the top? I'll say it over and over again. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. It is your title tag, your meta description, your H1 title tags, H2 title tags, and the content of the website. And of course, the one thing nobody ever talks about is the age of the domain of the website. Google does not trust new domain names. It takes it a long time. For example, if I were to do the SEO on 2 websites, a domain name that's 2 years old and one that's only 2 weeks old, and I do the exact same thing on both, this is going to go up 10 times, maybe 50 times faster than this new domain. That's just the way Google works. So what do I use? So I take the first website, click on here, copy it, and go to SEO scan to see if they're actually even following the rules of SEO. So the title tag, it does mention junk removal, but it does not mention Chandler. Meta description, it does mention junk removal, but I don't see Chandler anywhere in there. H1 title tag, I'm taking a look right here. It's got no H1 title tag. H2 title tags, there's a lot of junk removal terminology, but I don't see Chandler in there. So Google's still ranking that website. So I'm going to guess a lot of it has to do with age. So I'm going to copy the domain. I'm going to go and check out the age of the domain. Let's take a look here. Pop it into here. 3 years. So basically 4-year-old domain. That's one of the reasons. And another big reason, I almost guarantee you, is because this company has so many business listing citations. And those business listing citations create these links, backlinks that are pointing back to his website. And a lot of those links are telling Google that this is a website for junk removal services in Chandler, Arizona. So is it possible to beat this website in all these factors? Yes. You could beat them in everything here. Properly titled your website. If you build a website out there, properly put the meta description, H1 title tag, H2 title tags, all that stuff. It can eventually overtake this website. It will take a long time because it's so old. It's been sitting here for so long. It's going to take another website that Google deems even more worthy than this one here. And that would be by making sure you get more citations than they do, building everything better than they do, building a much better SEO optimized website, somewhere where people get engaged and want to be on the website, people take action on the website, that kind of thing. So that's what it would take to beat this guy out, or at least be in this top 3 here. So getting a junk removal business in Chandler, Arizona to show up on Google on a scale of 1 to 10, in my personal opinion, I think it would be not very difficult at all. I would say a 2 or a 3. The only thing is going to take time. I would say 3 to 6 months of consistent SEO action will get your business found in Chandler, Arizona, and if you get a Google listing. So how does one get a Google listing if you don't have a location right there? You have to be very clever about this. This is your business. This is what you do for a living. You have to do things that other people are not going to do. One of the ways you could do this is went out and went to Craigslist in the Chandler area. And I found an office space for rent right here. $275 part-time office space opportunity. No long-term commitment. You can rent this office, create a Google account in that area, or just a new Google account, create a Google listing, get the Google to mail you the card and verify your business listing in this office right here, and then be done with a little short-term lease with these guys. Even if it took you 2 months, be $500 to $550 to get a Google map listing. It's well worth it, especially some people are paying $1,000, $2,000 in ads. So it's worth doing that. Things like that. And then you'll have a business location and you could just close up shop after that. Google's not going to care afterwards. You set it up right there. You got the mail, got it all set up. So you got to do things like that in order to make that happen. Or if you happen to live in the area, sweet. You just set it up right there and then. So that's what it would take to get a junk removal business in Chandler, Arizona. You could do it in Phoenix. It's going to take a very long time, and it's going to take a lot of SEO, a lot of money. But with the things that I teach here on the YouTube channel, and I have my course online here underneath my description where I teach you guys, folks like yourself, how to build your website from scratch. I have SEO optimized website. I have the content. I have the template you could build. Everything that shows you how to rank a website on Google, you could do on your own with my course that I take, step by step and show you step by step how to make that happen. You could also just follow my YouTube channel here. A lot of the stuff will help out in smaller competitive areas, which some people have. I've noticed are starting to use my techniques and it's working out for them, which is great. So that's all I got for you guys. Till next time.